The White House has just released a statement saying that President Trump has reversed his plans to impose sanctions and tariffs on Colombia after it agreed to accept deported migrants from the US. Earlier, the Colombian President Gustavo Petro had objected to the migrants being returned in US military planes, saying they should be treated with more dignity. Donald Trump responded with a flurry of retaliatory measures against Colombia, including 25% tariffs on its goods. Colombia quickly responded with a reciprocal threat of 50% tariffs on goods from the US. This after Colombia blocked US military deportation flights that were carrying around 80 migrants from landing in the South American country. The Colombian president said migrants should be treated with dignity and as they were not criminals. And Trump also said he would immediately revoke visas for Colombian government officials and supporters of President Petro. But now it would seem this whole row has been diffused, with Colombia's president sending his presidential plane to collect the deported migrants from the United States. Well, let's go live to Bogota now to speak to Richard McCall, a freelance journalist based in Colombia. What a flurry of activity. It's hard to keep up, isn't it?
It's been a long day for us here, watching social media and listening to various outlets about what's going on. But it does seem like the crisis has been averted for now. They have reached an agreement. Of course, it's being billed in the US as a major victory for the Trump policy on migrants. But of course, we need to go back to the basics, don't we? It wasn't that Colombia was refusing the entry of migrants. It was just these two planes, the military planes. Colombia's policy has been that, Gustavo Petro's policy has been that he wishes for his countrymen to be returned in a dignified manner. Colombia received over 120 planes last year, so it's been a war of words over technicalities.
And do you think this is now completely diffused, or could it erupt again, depending on logistics?
Well, it's a difficult one. Well, I don't think it's gone entirely. Well, we have our first ever leftist president in charge here in Colombia, and of course his politics don't sit well with the politics of those in the White House in the United States. So they're going to come to a head again. This is undoubtedly going to be the case.
Interestingly as well, because President Petro was very vocal on social media, as you say, with his comments, his various threats. It was quite interesting at one point to see these two presidents playing it out in the world of social media.
Indeed, at one point, President Petro wrote a 700-word, almost poetic tweet, starting out saying how boring he found visiting the USA. But I think we really need to look at what's going on in Colombia as well. I don't think it was planned this way, but at the very same extent, this day's, as you say, flurry of diplomatic spat has actually diverted attention away from very serious issues taking place in the region of Catatumbo in Colombia, where there is ongoing conflict between warring gangs, and it's well out of control. And I think maybe President Petro has taken some relief from that over today.
Interesting. Richard McCall, thank you for your time. And just